Hi Cancer, and welcome to your energy forecast for the week beginning May the 8th, 2017. Going to do a 9-card spread, looking at the possible energies we're encountering this week. For Cancer, Temperance, 9 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, the Fool, the 2 of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. So we start off with the card of Temperance. Temperance is the 14th card of the Major Arcana. Temperance talks of change. Temperance talks of balance and understanding. She has one foot on the ground, solid and secure, rooted in who she is, and one foot in the water, feeling her emotions. She pours water from the golden cup to the silver cup, and back again, and back again, and back again. And this is balancing and combining the masculine and feminine energies within us. She wears the angel's wings. She was granted these wings to signify a connection of our physical self and our spiritual self. She talks about peace, tranquility, calmness, and patience, and understanding in a situation. Now, Temperance can talk to Sagittarian. So there could be a Sagittarian around us at the minute, Cancer. But she does talk to the time period of the 23rd of November to the 18th of January. So there could be something we've planned for then, or something we started back then last year, and we're having to show patience and understanding and balance in our masculine and feminine, our reaction, actions in both sides of this situation we're in. And I do think it's connected to a love situation. For now we have the 9 of Cups. Now the 9 of Cups is the wish card in the Minor Arcana. It talks about the official coming together of a situation. So we can be talking of contracts, we can be talking of marriages, we can be talking of engagements. It talks about happiness, support, the feeling of love and embracing love. It talks about harmony in the home, which the Temperance card talks about harmony too. She talks about relationships and the appreciation of what connections we already have surrounding us. When the 9 of Cups appears, it talks about unions being blessed. Now it's directly over the 2 of Cups, which we will come to soon, but unions being blessed. So a union could be a love relationship, it could be a business partnership, it could be a friendship, but it's blessed. This is Aphrodite, Venus, overlooking this union and saying and agreeing that the gods grant this union. So a blessing is coming. There's some kind of connection with someone or something that is blessed and is favoured, and probably a wish that's been asked for at some point in the past. Temperance can talk to us coming out of the time now. We've got the total understanding of it all. We've had the patience. We've done what we've needed to do regarding a connection of some kind this week. And they both sit with the Five of Pentacles. So in the Temperance card we have the 14th card, which breaks down to the 5, and 5 talks about change in circumstances. We then move to the 9 of Cups, which talks about our integration of a situation, an intensity of something coming to a completion. And then we talk about the 5, change again. Now the 5 of Pentacles talks about a change in perception, but a change in our physical environment, a feeling of being left out in the cold, not included in something, someone not telling us the whole truth, feeling a lack of support in a certain area. But it can talk about us being in a state of mind of stubbornness, feeling like we can do it all on our own, and just not looking at the option of turning around and knocking on this door for solace. So it can talk about our stubbornness, and maybe it's our stubbornness to pursue on instead of turning round and embracing this offer of a connection with somebody. The next card we have is the second major arcana in your reading, and that's the Fool. And the Fool talks about taking a risk, knowing something is the right path, being led by our intuition, having an exuberance and an excitement about a new journey, a new venture, a new path. And it can be a journey in love, it can be a journey in career and financial or family situations. But it's the realisation there's a new way of doing things. We don't have to follow the path that everyone else has took. We can carve our own path out. But it does take an element of risk and an element of trust to take the advantage of the Fool. Now the Fool talks to all the air signs, Aquarius, Libra and Gemini. And I think the Fool represents more than anything our mindset towards something new. The excitement, the exuberance of wanting to embrace this new dawn that's appearing in front of us. The eagle sat above him is Zeus in one of his many forms, and this signifies that the wisdom of Zeus is watching how unpredictable and how reckless the energy of the fool can be. So we have to trust our intuition with this card. We have to have faith, and we have got to be willing to take a risk. And that is sat right next to the Two of Cups. Now the Two of Cups talks about new partnerships, union. It can talk about the soulmate, feeling connected to someone on more than one level, a heart and mind connection with someone or something. But it talks about two people coming together to make this adventure move forward. But the coming together upstirs our emotions. It awakens desires. It awakens passions or feelings within us. So there could quite easily be a appearance of someone offering a love situation at this time. But it could be our wanting to set out on a new venture of love. Now the Two of Cups do talk to the soulmate card. So maybe we do want to step out and find a deeper connection than what we've had in the past. And that sits right next to the Five of Cups, which again, another 5. So we are talking a lot of change. And I think it's physical change. I think it's changing our environment. This could quite easily be a new business partnership being offered, a new friendship being offered, or a new relationship being offered. But the Five of Cups talks about a feeling of abandonment, a feeling of betrayal. It's sadness, it's loss. And again we have the Five of Pentacles. In the physical, we're feeling isolated, left out of something. We may have even had a financial loss at some point in this situation, but we've also had an emotional loss regarding it. We felt pain, we felt hurt, we felt betrayal. But no matter how bad both these cards feel, they are energies that we change, that are changing, and we can work through. That moves to the Eight of Pentacles, which the Eight of Pentacles does talk of our everyday environment. It talks about paying attention to the finer detail in things. It talks about following through on our commitments. It talks about having the ability to do what we need to do. Pay attention to small details, because that could be the key in moving something forward. We could have financial boost around this card, but it's about analysing and looking at how far we've come in the physical, looking at what hard work we've put in the past to get where we are now. It's looking at where we still have to go in the future and knowing there's still hard work ahead, but knowing that our hard work will pay off in the end. But it can also be a card that, while assessing, we realise we've still got to learn more, investigate more, or understand more, and we're going to have to put in time, patience. To get there, to have the dedication to see it through. But there's a promise of the wish fulfillment here. We can fair taste it. And it's next to the Two of Pentacles, which talks about a choice. There's choices available to us now. Though we don't clearly want to see them. It can talk about property and finances, but it can talk about finding balance in a situation. It can talk about contracts, judgments, but we're looking and hoping for a fair and balanced one. It does want us to pay attention to any financial details, agreements or offers that are around at the minute, and anything that we do invest in, look for the long-term option. We have a choice. It could be a choice in work, it could be a choice in love. Do we take a chance on love or not? Which is very much what I see in the top row here. You know, once we're in this balanced nature of temperance, do we want the fulfillment of a loving relationship, or do we want to press on our own, solitary at the moment? Do we take the risk on a new love, something deep and meaningful? Or do we not take the chance and stay in the energy where we are of the Fool, for fear of something not working out? If we analyse where we are, where we've come, what we've been through, and what we still have to face in the situation, we can manage to find a balance, juggle all that we need to do in the situation to keep on plodding through, to be able to come to the choice that needs to be made, get out of the undecisiveness. Wherever we're in the energy of making the decision, we're just running these things back through our mind, getting clear, looking at the small, finer detail in everything, looking within ourselves to find that true balance, asking our innocence and our intuition to step in. The Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups both talk about the divine partnership, the ideal partnership, the gift of love. Now again, could be a friendship, not necessarily the love. Both these cards talk about assessing ourselves. Before moving forward. So finding a balance, we can get to make that choice. And then the final card that we finish the week with is the Four of Cups. Now the Four of Cups is the card that leads straight on to the change in the Five of Cups. We have Psyche in the middle here, and she was claimed by all the others in the land to be the most beautiful sight, the most beautiful woman man had ever seen. And Venus, Aphrodite, was appalled that everyone thought this human could be as beautiful as she. So she ordered a son, Apollo, Eros, to kill her, to destroy her. And when he came to shoot the arrow, he took one look at her face, and he was besotted with how beautiful she was, that he actually scraped himself with the arrow of love, and he fell madly in love with her. So he didn't destroy her, he ended up keeping her and putting her in a safe place, and fell madly in love with her. He visited her every night, spent every night with her, and then disappeared every morning. He knew if it ever came out that he'd got together with Psyche, the relationship would have to be over, because his mother was so adamant he was supposed to have killed her. And in the Four of Cups, we have a scene where her sisters have come to visit her, and she's explaining that everything is fantastic, life is great, but I've never still seen the face of my husband. He only comes at night. It's the only thing he's asked me not to do, look at his face or demand who he is. And the sisters convince Psyche that he must be a monster, he must be a demon, and you must kill him, because he wouldn't hide who he is if he had anything to hide. So it must be a bad side, it must be a bad entity. And that plays so much on Psyche's mind, the conversation plays so much on Psyche's mind, that one night while he's sleeping, she secretly lights a lamp and takes a dagger from the nightstand, with a view that when she's seen his face, she will kill him and kill this beast, this demon that has her trapped. And when she lifts the lamp over the sleeping Apollo, she sees the ultimate beauty of this winged god laid in bed, and falls madly in love with him. Accidentally, she up-tips the lamp and scalds his skin with burning oil. On that, he awakens, realises she didn't trust him. There wasn't the trust in the relationship and he has to leave. And Psyche is now faced with the pain of separation, the pain of regret, of not believing in this love that she'd found. And it all comes from the Four of Cups and being in the mindset of boredom and dissatisfaction, and where can we push the boundaries within a relationship, or getting to know somebody, or bringing something together. Sometimes we can push too far to ease our boredom and dissatisfaction of the moment and cause devastation. The Four of Cups does also talk about being focused on the 3 cups we already have. We don't even see the 4th cup that's being offered, so there could be an emotional offer around us at the minute, and we're not seeing it because we're still in a mindset of loss, emotional loss, physical or financial loss, a feeling of isolation, of solitude in our physical world and our mindset. But if we can work through these 2 energies and accept them for the changing period that they are, there's very, very favourable connection available to us, and a great new adventure of some kind. Now we have 1, 2, 3 Earth cards, so we could be talking about a Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo involved in this, and of course the others are Cups 9, 2, 5 and 4, which talk about Pisces, Scorpio or Cancer. So I'm reading these as your energy in the reading, but it's something practical, something you want in the physical environment around you. We're physically feeling isolated here, we're physically working hard, we're physically juggling and managing to complete everything we do, and physically getting ourselves to a point of being able to make a choice on a situation. We are emotionally looking at what makes us feel bored and content, how pushing too far can lead us to a feeling of isolation and loss, a feeling of being left out in the cold, of no communication. And balancing, understanding, nurturing the fool energy and the recklessness that the fool can have. Uranus at the minute is in Aries, so it's all about us and the way we present ourselves to the world, our attitude and our temperament. Well, the Fool would talk a lot about our attitude. So it's temperance. Is temperance coming in to say balance that attitude? Find peace in that attitude. Don't be so malely masculine in your movements forward and aggressive. Be more assertive in your steps forward. Temperance again. Is Temperance saying, beware. Yeah, there could be a new beginning, a new relationship, something that is very fated, very deep. But don't let the mundane of our emotions, don't let the dissatisfaction of things not moving quick enough get into your mindset. Don't let others cloud your judgment. There can be talk of jealousy in this card. There could be someone jealous around us that does try and put a separation into a coming together. But I think even though we've got so many Cups cards, the Pentacles energy say it's slow and steady progress. It's hard work and diligence. It's commitment to get where we need to get. So it isn't going to be something that just changes overnight. But these energies of the wish, the soul connection, are promised. The Five of Pentacles can very much talk to no communication. We're feeling that isolated, we're having no communication. And we may be even trying not to think about situations in this card. But it talks a lot about feeling alone, feeling isolated in a situation. Which does the Five of Cups, and which does the Four of Cups. Something missing here, and I need to find it to feel more attached, more connected. And if that's the case, maybe it's these feelings, these thoughts that are putting us in this physical isolation at this time. But we have no real thoughts of communication, cards of communication, or our thought process surrounding what's going off. Now, I'm not sure who rules Sagittarius, Jupiter. Yeah. So, the Temperance is talking about growth, look, expression, our higher learning. I mean, could it be as simple as listening to our intuition, being balanced in our approach towards a love scenario, and not letting discontented feelings overrule us? To get away from the isolation that's felt in the Five of Pentacles, do we need to make a connection with somebody? and work hard and diligent and bringing that to the complete cycle of a 10. We have a wish for a new beginning, a partnership, even a work contract. We have a wish for this new level of commitment regarding a union, a partnership, and it's time to make a choice to take that chance or not. And if we don't take that chance, we end up here and here, stagnated in all them places. We can be, maybe we're being stubborn within our thoughts of past love and how they left us, and the dissatisfaction that we found in relationships of the past. It's time to walk away from these three energies. Look at why we feel like that. Understand from a different perspective the lessons that were involved here. Why these situations happened. Keep on making slow and steady progress, paying attention to the detail forward. Because there is definitely a new adventure awaiting, which is full. Well, it has the promise of two people coming together, the promise of a union of some kind. That can be a wish come true. We've just got to be in a good balance, listening to our intuition and make a choice. Right then, Cancer, I hope that helps you for this week, and again, thanks for coming, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye.